Greetings, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're discussing the Ball Trainmaster 120. You can see this 18-karat rose gold automatic timepiece and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch with additional accessories included, high-resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details. On my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that the Ball Trainmaster 120, a 120th anniversary watch released in 2011 to celebrate Ball's inception in 1891, has a much different aesthetic and proportion than the watches for which the company is known. Like watchmakers along the lines of Graham and one might say U-boat, which have very polarizing and distinctive case and dial forms, Ball largely sells oversized, strident technical references with sports orientation, but it departs from that practice for a number of special references that really set the company apart from those merely looking to make an aesthetic splash, or rather a single-dimensional aesthetic splash. Ball is a bit more versatile, and the company creates a 39.5mm round watch here that sort of breaks its styling norms. It's a wonderfully slim reference, only 10.5mm in thickness, and that with a double-stepped case flank, domed bezel, and a vintage-style domed sapphire designed to evoke the distortion and aesthetic of a mid-century acrylic. The watch has handsome proportions and very wearable outright dimensions, only 48mm from lug to lug, with relatively dramatically downturned lugs. This is an easy watch to wear on a smaller wrist, and down to about 14 centimeters, maybe even 13.5 centimeters in circumference, you're going to find that this is an easy watch to wear and handle on a smaller wrist, and it's a perfect watch for sliding underneath a tight dress cuff or sleeve. If you do like formal attire or wear it as a matter of course, this watch is a perfect companion. Now, the 18-karat rose gold case and the traditional dimensions are matched with a beautiful and actually quite substantial rectangular scale monotone stitch black alligator leather strap. You can see how the spring bars are curved to trace the flank of the case. The look is integrated, very little daylight between strap and case, and yet there's no constraint on the movement of the strap, so you can pull it down around a tighter, smaller wristband. This is usually at odds with conforming end straps, but here you get the integrated look with the flexibility to wear on a smaller wrist. Well done by Ball. Now, the watch is equipped with a very substantial, screw-fixed and high-polished engraved 18-karat pin buckle. While pin buckles are generally viewed as traditional, this one can only be considered relatively Baroque, but that's a good thing because it's beautifully rendered and it contains far more 18-karat gold than you typically see in a pin buckle. It looks like a no-expense-spared take on the traditional Ardillon. The dial of the watch, again, departs rather dramatically from Ball's practice, with one exception. All of the luminescent elements atop the applied hour indices and the Dauphine-style hands at center are the H3 Tracer technology, the tritium gas tubes for which Ball is known in its sporting references. These are essentially radiation independent in as much as they have their own tritium activator radiation present within the glass tubes, which is to say, if you were to put this watch in a safe, in pitch black, take it out a year later in a dark room, it would still be glowing because it activates itself. It does not rely on sunlight. It does not store energy as does superluminova, the conventional luminescent material in Swiss watchmaking. So the dial is ever bright at night. Now, the watch also features a delicate and striking sunburst grain at its center. It's difficult to see the grain itself, but what you do see is the effect of light across the dial. The watch takes it and reflects it in a scattered and dazzling fashion that speaks to the refinement that Ball put into this dial. Simple and yet complex in that, given the lighting effects, it's never the same watch twice, and in direct sunlight it really has an explosive character to it. In soft interior light, it has a sort of warm glow. It's a watch that has several gears, so to speak. From an aesthetic standpoint, the dial is beautifully balanced. Even the graphics are quite reasonable. In an era when watchmakers seem to essentially cram dials with graphics, logos, and branding, this one's remarkably discreet, chased like the proportions of the watch. It's a handsome array. The case back, a broad display, shows an ETA 2892A2 carry. Now you can see that the caliber features chronometer grade balance and matching hairspring. So this isn't an entry-level 2892. As you noted, when I pulled the crown, it did stop the balance. So this 42-hour bidirectional automatic winding caliber is a very versatile and precise timepiece featuring the higher grade of balance and hairspring, characteristic of the upper grades of the 2892 when ordered from ETA. And, again, with a date on the dial, the watch also features a convenient quick set date function, allowing you to rapidly cycle the date should the watch run down or should you encounter a month of irregular length. Thanks to the thin profile of the 2892A2, substantially less than 4 millimeters, the watch can be made slim, arguably the quintessential dress reference from a most unexpected source. You can see this Ball Trainmaster 120 and purchase it on our website.